Hi, Nikolett.
Hi, Halina.
Welcome. I'm very, very happy to have you on today for this conversation. It's truly an honor. I always like sometimes listen to all your wonderful podcasts that you're doing, and it's always like so inspiring. So I'm very grateful that you're on today.
Thank you so
Um,
much.
yeah, thank you for saying yes to this. So let's see where we go with this. And we also have Hungarian live translation. So I hope the translator's already on. I'm gonna let me see if I can quickly post the Zoom link again somewhere. So I'm doing it all today here.
Yes, you are the
See?
host and then you are the
Yeah, exactly. So we're not trying to be perfect here at all. Go, where are we here? Okay, I think this is not really going how I want this to be right now. Okay, here we go. Okay, wonderful. All right, um we are having these regular symphony conversations, and it started with talking about the Symphony of Possibilities. And you and I, we both took a lot of classes with Dr. Dane here. We also both maestros.
Yes.
But today, actually, I would like to talk to you a little bit about the ESP, the energetic synthesis of being, which is kind of like I would always say like the door opener to the Symphony of Possibilities, because if you want to go to a class, you actually have to also attend an ESP class, an energetic synthesis of being class, before you go there. And, sometimes people might ask why, but once you do it, once you know it, you will kind of like get it. But for anybody who might just jump on and also sees this for the first time, hears about it for the first time, it's like, what are they talking about? What is this? So the ESP is yeah, well, it's a universe. Yeah, it's a universe of where you actually start to. It's like for me, and you also please say how you experience that too. It's like it was kind of like the door opener to, I don't know, to myself, so to say, like to the things that I always knew were possible, like some sense of ease and joy and creation and generation. And I always had a sense that it's possible, but the ESB was somehow the moment where I got the access to it. And
Mm.
that's what actually happens in this class. It's a 3-day class, and it's really like somehow you don't really know what's happening, but you somehow know what's happening. Because that's all, I think, also for a lot of people who actually get pulled to the class, that's kind of like what, I don't know how that was for you, but that was like my brain was totally not in the whole game with this. I just knew I had to go. Yeah.
Yeah, where to start? So I took my first ESB class with Dr. Dane in Budapest in 2019. And I was after my divorce, like basically 5 months after my divorce, I moved back to Hungary and I just knew I have to be in that class. Not just because he came to Budapest. My universe was so much smaller than today. And I was
Yeah.
so happy he came to Budapest, so I did not have to, go somewhere else. And I remember I showed up in class, I was exhausted. I was not happy at all. I was struggling with a lot of things, like I had no money and I just couldn't find myself. I was like, after my
Yeah.
divorce. I got a divorce after 5 months. So it was a lot of things going on at the time. And I remember showing up in class. I didn't know what to expect. I never been to any class. I just knew that I have to be there. So I went to the class. I was half the class. I was sleeping on a massage table, receiving bars or gifting bars, but I was basically sleeping. And the the most amazing conversation that Dane had with someone. For me, even over the years, I saw many, many beautiful conversation in ESB classes, but in that class, there was a particular conversation with a guy. And that blown my mind. I remember everyone who was receiving bars, everyone just stood up. I was like, what's going on here?
Yeah. Yeah.
And I realized, so many times that you really want to change things in your life and you don't know how. You basically start to use the tools, but then there is a missing part or a missing element to your change. And the class showed me that changing things is not just you choose, that's the main element, but not just you choose, you commit to yourself or you commit to your change, but you really need change the energy of your foundation, I would say, or just the structure of your life. And I couldn't explain, even after the class, what happened in that class. I knew my life is not going to be the same ever
Yeah.
again. And I have to say, all classes are my favorites, by the way, but ESB is one of my favorites. And every time I talk to anyone who ever taken an ESB class with Dane, everyone is like, which is your favorite class? ESB is their
Yeah.
favorite classes. It's just, you can't really explain what happens there. It's just the most beautiful class for me. I mean, all of them, but ESB is really unique for me.
Yeah, it's kind of like, like it's really this opening of the sense of possibilities you always had in so many different ways. And it's like during the class, it's also like, it's not Dane is also kind of like, as a facilitator of this, guiding you through this, but it's not really a path that he shows you. It's more like, it's not like do this or that. It's more like really go with everything that shows up in this class, and everybody contributes to this. And it's like you get the sense of like that really the possibilities and the creation that you always knew is possible is starting to open up. And as you also said, like with every class, there's always more available. You always access more of you and more of all of this, the space, the peace, the joy, the possibilities. And it's like, I'm totally with you with what you said, because for me, it's pretty much, I experience it probably different, but the same, so to say. That's like, that I always like also go into this with so much more receiving. I'm just allowing myself to receive more of me all the time. And that's the beauty of it. And it's like, it's just 3 days also where somehow, how to say this, but it's like when you have a sense of separation or you feel alone or something, but somehow this whole class and everything that the ESB is inviting you is kind of a marrying the universe and you together. So like that you don't have this, that this separation disappears. You really have become way more access in a sense of like everything we talked about before. The creation starts. It's somehow that the actual creation starts.
Yeah.
That you not start to create from pain anymore, but from the possibilities, like from true possibilities. So I'm getting chills while I'm talking about it. Like, it's like, wow. So
yes, because so when I took my foundation, like my bars class, that was a life-changing for me. My facilitator was amazing. And then I took my first foundation class. It changed so much in my world. And I could see that my life was changing. I was a different person inside, even though the outside world, like if people would see me from the outside, they don't really see any changes in me. But things are really started to just being different for me. Like waking up in the morning, I felt like more myself. But then when I took my first ESB class, it was really different from a foundation class or a CFP class that I took before, because it was still talking, but not much talking as in a CFP class. It was more like an energetic, melting, beautiful. You can't really understand with your mind anymore.
no,
Like, yeah.
no, I guess that's when you said it's like for me it was I knew and I didn't knew like how energetic I was or am, and that energy was always my first language. People were talking to me and I was like, huh? Because I was more aware of the energy more than the words, but I got really confused because the reality is here is like the words you hear is that's what's true. But that's not true, because energy will always tell you the truth. If you start to listen, yeah, you will always know what's true. And that's like with the ESB, that's for me the really, I always have all the time so much more access to what's true for me. And we don't even have an idea how little we know what's true for us. And that's also like what it showed me, like more like, wow, I started to also like go out, get out of the wrongness of myself, because I made myself so wrong for this, because I didn't understand why people, like, it's like, because I always was more aware of the energy, and that was somehow such a, there was just some sort of freedom that started to open up for me, also to get out of the wrongness of myself being so energetic and suppressing that so much. Like I had to suppress this so much to kind of like be able to exist and to be perfect and right and all this stuff. And it's just with this, it's kind of like started to all kind of like change. And but what I also would like to ask you, because I know that you also, this beautiful thing what Dr. Dane here does during these classes, he actually sometimes, if the energy is there, asks people to come on stage, and then he actually gives us an ESB session to a person. But the beautiful thing is also that in this class, like if he works on one person, he basically works on everyone in the room. So it's not only the person that's on the table, but it's like everybody can receive from this as much as they choose to. And I know I also was in one class where you received the session as well. And thank you for that, because,
Yes.
you can all receive from it.
I believe everyone who been on the class will remember forever.
Yeah. But it's like, I also don't know if this was your first session that you received like in a class, or if you have received a private session with him before an ESP session. But I would actually like to ask you how that was for you. Like if there's anything that you could maybe share with everyone here, because like this is a very different experience as well. So
Yeah. So many people in class really want to be on stage with him, I believe. It was the same for me. I remember when he came to Budapest and I never been to an ESB class, so people told me then sometimes, I'm like, why is the massage table on stage? What he's doing? And he picked some people, and I was like, oh my God, I want to be picked. I want to be picked. So I took so many ESB classes ever since. But last year, he had a class at the castle, and at some point, I really let go of being on stage, because I realized what you just said. You don't really need to be on stage to receive the whole thing. So I was just, receiving everything from every single session. But in this particular class, I was really confused. I was not in the happiest place in my life. I was in a mess, and I would say a trauma drama with my ex-boyfriend. And yeah, I was in my universe, and the whole class was really intense for me in many, many ways. And at some point, I was just sitting there, and then Dane was like, "Hey, Nikolett, do you want to come up?" And I'm like, what? Because I also know he would pick someone who, like, the conversation or the session would, contribute to everyone. And I'm like, me? I am just an idiot. I am such a mess. And I was like, yeah, I would like to, but I was like so small. I sit on stage like a little baby, and I didn't know what, like, he would ask you a question. It's like, if you could get anything out of this session, what would it be? And, I would come up with these really excessy ideas. I'm like, I don't want to be so stupid. I want to be this. I want to be that. And he's like, no, no, no. I'm like, okay, yeah, it's true. He's like, did you get that has no energy? I'm like, yeah. And then I didn't say anything, and he started to talk. And he didn't ask me any question. He asked me to lay down. I might well cry. He asked me to lay down. And he explained my whole life in half an hour. Everything that was going on for me, it was just unbelievable. Unbelievable. And I was just laying there. My body did all these things, which I thought I would never do, because I have gone to many SOP classes as well. And my body, I would just lay on the table and just be. But here I just couldn't hold it back. And I couldn't explain what happened to me when, I just sit there. I had so many things I felt, since from my childhood, I experienced a lot of hurt, or, you know, my parents would tell me things that I was not smart enough and not, I was just stupid and not good enough, blah, blah, blah. Like we all experience that in some ways, right? And I forget about this. I was like, that's fine. And it's not like you have to go back and understand and let it go, but I felt I don't have to talk about this anymore. I don't have to think about this anymore. It just melted away. And I felt 200 kilos less. And I remember when it was at the castle in Casa Borgone. And when I left the class, I was 4 kilos less.
Wow.
All of my dresses were just too big for
Wow.
me. And everything changed. Basically, I couldn't eat that much anymore. I couldn't drink that much anymore. Like, it's not just that I knew my life is going to change, it's not going to be the same, but my everything, like every part of my life started to melt away. And that session showed me something really interesting. So many times when I would go to any classes, I would be like, oh, okay, so this is what I have to change. Okay, this is what I have to work on. This is what I have to do. And ever since that session, I go to any classes and I have things coming up, and or I'm able to see parts of me that I was not willing to see, why my life doesn't work. I don't think about it anymore because I know I was in the class and it's already changed. I
Yeah.
don't have to think about it. I don't have to do anything about it. I just have to go live my life, do my best, and that's it. And it's really changed the course of my life in many, many ways. And also, you know, I kind of knew from my childhood that I was different, and nothing that would work for the people around me would not work for me. And these classes showed me also that I can be different. It's okay. And I don't have to go with the masses. So it changed so much for me. And ever since, when there is something that I would say I'm struggling with, or I would like to change,
Mhm.
I'd rather go with the energy side than with the thinking and the understanding side. And many, many times I would just start the energy running on my body, and I feel things, you know, just
Yeah.
going away. You know, I want to share with you one really amazing things. Like my mother's husband had a really bad accident last week, and he got into the emergency room. They put him to sleep. He couldn't breathe, and he was there for like 3 days. And my mom called me. She was really into this drama. And immediately I was like, it's okay. Hey, mom, I'm here. I'm moving houses right now. I can't go right now, but I'm here. And I was using the ESB SOP energy on him. I couldn't go. And then my mom called me the next day. He's like, oh, he's doing so much better. Doctor's saying this is a miracle. I'm like, oh, okay, it's good. I'm like, I'm here. Don't worry. It's going to be fine. And then I work on him on the morning. I would work on him on the afternoon. I would, like, every time when I think about him during moving, I was like moving boxes and houses and everything. And I just think about him. And when I had a little time to sit down, I was just like asking the energy to run. And I moved in by Saturday, and on Sunday I could go and see him. He was out of the emergency room, and he don't know basically anyone. I stepped into the room. He saw me, and he was like, "Hey, Nikolett, thank you," and he hugged me, and I was like, "Wow." And my mom was like, how did he recognize you? No, he doesn't recognize anyone. And I was like, yeah, I got him. I got his back. He got mine. So it was just beautiful.
Wow. Thank you for sharing this. This
Thank you.
is like, it kind of like shows so much what we can be with this. You know,
Yes.
if we really allow it to be that. And anybody can choose to be that, because we all are it already. There's just a lot of things that we used to not be it. But this is like, this can be the beginning of it. And as you also wonderfully said, you probably already started when you received your first bar session. You know, that's also how it was for me. Like, something opened up for me that I always knew was there. And I was like, oh my God, what is this? And then I just started to follow this, you know, I was just like, and then, but this is this is like everybody who sees that here and has a sense of like whatever this is, just start to choose it.
Yeah.
And thank you so much, Nikolett, because also I was in the class, the session you talked about, and also you talked about something after the session that was very vulnerable. And I remember you said that you never talked about it, and it created so much for everyone in this class. And I thank you for that.
Thank you.
Yeah, because I
Yeah.
think there's a lot of where people experience a lot of stuff in their life, and to be able to actually talk about it and say it, and the space is there, because this is also the beautiful thing in this class is the space is so, there's so much allowance for everything that whatever comes up, you can actually look at it.
Yeah.
And not from even if there's a lot of wrongness coming up, but you're not wrong. There's like, you can't just be different with this. And that also with this session, like really showed me like that we can't be so different with this. And like, you know, everything that comes up, you can just be with it and let it go and say, okay, it's okay. I'm not wrong.
Yeah. And also because we hide so much from ourselves
Yeah.
too. And you know, you cannot hide from the energy. I
No,
mean, you
no,
can hide
no,
from people.
no.
Yeah. Because when
Yeah,
I
sorry.
first met, so when I first met Dr. Dane, he kept telling me, he's like, hey, when you will stop hiding, you know, and I was like, I'm not hiding, Dane. Did you see my classes? They're growing. And he's like, yeah, whatever. And you know, I was kept going. And every time he would say, when you will stop hiding, I'm like, I, I am not hiding. And then I started to see what I was hiding. Yes, but the main thing for me, it's not really that I was hiding from the world. I was hiding things, like not like hiding myself, sorry. I was hiding things from the world. I would just keep it in my little cave, little cage, and these sessions started to melt those away also, and just let them come up and then let them go away. And that's the beauty of it for me, is you don't really have to talk about it. You don't have to do anything with it. It will go away.
Yeah. And also like, it's so much easier to change things if you allow the energy to be there. You know, like there's a lot of things where people maybe have to think, yeah, I don't want to feel the pain and la la la. But in the end, like this is a different space. This opens up a really different space for you to be with this from no judgment.
Yeah.
And it's like, I could imagine that maybe some people seeing this, just allow yourself to perceive the energy while we're talking about it. Also, if you might maybe go back, just allow yourself to receive more of the energy. So it's gonna give you more clarity and show you more the space of like that you can be with it. And that's when you be with it, that's the moment where you can actually start to change it with so much more ease. So
It's amazing.
yeah,
And
it's really a miracle. And it's like it's just, I don't know what to say. So really a big thank you to Dr. Dane here.
yes.
Like this is all like, you know, like this is, if you want to really know more about this, there's a lot of also resources on YouTube where you can maybe also have a look where he talks about it a little bit more. And he's also having a class coming up very soon in Budapest.
Yes.
Yeah.
In my beautiful city, Budapest. Yes. So Dr. Dane is coming to Budapest on September 13th. I mean, we will have a global bars
Yeah.
class the day before on the 12th, and then the ESB class from the 13th to the 15th.
Yeah.
Right next to the Danube. It's beautiful. September is beautiful in Hungary, and this is our very favorite class, and we can't
Yeah.
wait to have him here.
Yeah. Thank you, Nikolett.
Thank you.
And thank you again. Well, I
Halina.
would just like to say thank you for everything that you are creating.
Thank you.
Yeah. And I really would invite everybody here to maybe look a little bit more what Nikolett does and what she talks about, because she's like,
Thank you.
it's really amazing. So
Thank you. Thank you
you're a
so
gift.
much.
You're truly a gift, Nikolett. So for being
Thank
on.
you.
And
Thank you.
I guess I see you in Budapest.
Yes, I always see Halina in Budapest. We are a
Yeah.
good team.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
We are a good team, and I'm really excited
Yeah.
because I know we are running out of time. Just one more thing is,
Yeah. Of
ever
course.
since Dr. Dane came to Hungary, this country changed a lot.
Yeah. And maybe
And
also because you changed a lot in the country and still do.
I mean, we are so lucky. The smallest country, basically 10,000 people, and we have the most amazing CFs. We have 35 CFs in Hungary. Each of them are amazing, and they're doing the best job.
Yeah.
It's just amazing. So
Yeah,
I'm
that's
really
right.
grateful for them. So I want to do a big shout out to them too. So
Yeah.
come to Hungary.
Yeah, come to Hungary or wherever you are in the world, just have a look, because he's also actually, because this is Access Worldwide, he also actually has an ESP class coming up in Japan next weekend. So if
Next
you're
weekend.
closer to Japan watching this,
Go.
you can also always attend his classes online, by the way. So it's a live class, but it's also an online class. So
Yes, that's what
we
I wanted to
invite you.
say. I took a bunch of ESB classes online, and it was
Me too.
amazing. Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Nikolett.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone. Bye.